Hello, Nigerians. I'm Dr. Kemi lawyer. It's April 2nd, 2025. Let's talk about IPOB. I want to do this video today because I want to pass a message through. There are many things I say in journalism, in pharmacy, in PR. There's a lot of things I say in my professions that you don't believe it because you don't think it happened. Many things have happened in my life. I'm a very unique person. I'm currently telling the story of my life now on TikTok, Dr. Kemi lawyer. Kemi Talks Life. I've been doing Kemi Talks Life for like 5 years now, but the story is so long. So I'm doing some new videos on TikTok. So make sure you go watch the videos on TikTok and YouTube, Dr. Kemi lawyer. Going back to IPOB, all right, I stayed in Port Harcourt prison for 6 months. I was arrested 3 times in the BOME case. While I was in the prison, I told you I'm going to write a prison book, but I don't know when. Okay, every time I try to write that book, the trauma comes to me and I can't write again. I prefer to talk. And another thing is that if I talk on video now, this video will reach somebody, or it could even reach my great grandchildren when I'm long gone, rather than a book. Oh, we heard our great grandmother wrote a book. She was in prison. She was a famous journalist. Where are they going to find the book? Okay, in the year 3045, they're not going to find any books. So that's why I leave these videos here. Back to IPOB. You see, the indigenous people of Biafra, when first started this movement, I joined. Yeah, I joined. I was part of IPOB. Yeah, I was. I supported them in the beginning in 2016. Then they started chanting Biafra or death. I'm like, don't use that chant. Buhari's going to come after you. Or death. Death for what? You can get a referendum. You can do what they did in Scotland and Sudan, South Sudan, all that. But some members of the group were just so inflammatory. So I left. Shebi Punch did a story. Olunloyo's daughter supports IPOB. At the end of the day, many people in IPOB don't trust Yorubas because they have this thing in their head that Yorubas are traitors. And they're right. I mean, Yorubas backstab each other and do a lot of bad things to each other. I know that. So at the end of the day, the Igbos were advocating for a separation of Nigeria because of Biafra, knowing that fully well that they wouldn't give it to them, okay, because of all the oil sitting in rivers, which is why the Biafran War even happened in the first place. And the people that committed that genocide are still alive. So I told IPOB, let's go after the people that committed the genocide. Okay, so there was no ICC and there was no Amnesty International, but there are ICC and Amnesty International. Now Yakubu Gowon is sitting in his house sipping tea. What says we can't invite him to the ICC? He killed a lot of people. There was a genocide. So at the end of the day, people, we're not focused. Look what happened in Rivers. Look at the videos I did about Rivers in November. Now they're watching it. Let's be focused and get our country back to where it needs to be. Left to me, my Igbo friends don't need to be separated in the country. But at this point, maybe it's best to separate the country. Okay, on this note, shout out to IPOB. I'm actually supporting all your quest because I've studied you and I've investigated you. IPOB is not a terrorist group. Let me tell you what happens. When you're going to label a terrorist group, they need to be in the counterterrorism list in the United States State Department. Okay? Somebody said to me today, oh, does it mean only the United States is the one that can print a terrorist group list? You see Arab countries with the most terrorists printing their own list, or any other country printing a list and say American has terrorists too. No, the U.S. is the capital of the world. If you're not in the counterterrorism list of the U.S., then you're lucky. Okay, Boko Haram is in there. Northern Nigeria, shout out to you. Boko Republic is on there. Al-Shabaab, Abu Sayyaf, everybody. You can Google these things with your expensive phones. Learn how to use your phones. Okay, don't waste your time in the I section because IPOB is not in the I section. ISIS is everywhere there. Okay, so what did Buhari do? There's an Igbo guy in the ICC. He's a judge, one of the judges there. Buhari made friends with this Igbo guy. Went to the ICC, visited him in a courtesy trip. They took pictures together. Igbo guy, Igbo name, just to blast that in the faces of the Igbos that, what's wrong with you? No one's going to convict me for any genocides or any crimes or anything here. Okay, at the end of the day, judges expire and they leave. But the whole point of it is IPOB prescription, okay? The person that prescribed IPOB, I think is dead. That judge is dead. But when it was prescribed, they sent it to the State Department. The State Department rejected it. You don't know this because the politicians and the businessmen own the same media houses that would put it out for you on TV, radio, and newspaper. So it was never announced. Anytime they're disgraced out there, they never announce their disgraceful stuff. Okay, but we know because we are the independent journalists. Okay, so the State Department refused to add IPOB to the counterterrorism list because they're not terrorists. And I'll get to it. You see that whole thing with Ahmed Gulak and how he was killed outside that emo whatever when he went to see Uzodimma and came out of there, and then those boys killed him. Okay, I know you're gonna come after me, Awusa people, but I don't give a fuck. Ahmed Gulak, dead men don't talk. Yeah, we understand that, but Ahmed Gulak had a lot of relationship with the insurgency and the banditry going down in southeast Nigeria. He had his boys there, his herders, his militia, and all that, and he was funding them heavily. So some people were trolling Uzodimma, saying that he went to collect one huge amount of money from the government house, and then on his way out, they killed him. At the end of the day, okay, they now blamed it on IPOB. Quickly, they changed it. I will have the screenshots for you on a different post. Okay, the Punch newspapers. They quickly changed the headline. I caught the old headline and the new headline. You see what's going on? The media is being paid. They're owning the media. They own it. They direct how the news comes to you. Okay, indigenous people of Biafra, they want their own country. And I still think that in my lifetime, I've said it before, under my dead body, all that. That was when we were all brainwashed, okay? Okay, you were brainwashed about IPOB. Everybody's brainwashed about IPOB. Do you know that this Biafra movement, like Biafra will come? I'm sorry, I have to say this, okay? Nnamdi, if you're watching this, okay, me and you, we may not be here, but I just know that Nigeria is going to separate and that Biafra is going to go one way. But when that time comes, I want young people to tell their children and the children what Mahama told young people in Ghana before he became president again. He said this, you know that December 31st thing they have in Ghana, I think that's when Rawlings opened fire and killed everybody, but this democracy you're enjoying could not have been possible without certain people that were killed on this day. Okay, we wouldn't be killed, but I'm just telling you that when Biafra comes, that democracy, I'm saying it today, April 2nd, 2025, so keep this video. When Biafra comes, the democracy you're going to be enjoying in Biafra once it's separated back to where it needs to be. Honestly, we will be angels watching. We may be angels. I'm not going to say it's going to be that long. I'm 61 this year, so 40 more years for me. I already know I'm going to die at 101, but 40 more years for me. It may come before that. I'm just telling you, some people fought hard for it. All that incarceration they're holding, Nnamdi Kanu, anyone the Nigerian government is holding is powerful than them. They just don't know it. You know what I mean? I've told you about that judge, Binta Nyako. She's married to a thief. Her husband's a thief, former Adamawa governor. Adamawa people come in the comments and yap me. I don't give a fuck. Nyako is one of the biggest thieves in Nigeria. 70 billion, him and his son, that they stole. I'm not putting allegedly. Since 2015, I did a video, and that video is still on my page. I'll repost it today. And let me tell you something, people. Governor Nyako and his son still have that case with the EFCC today, and they have not done much about it. I mean, where are we going in Nigeria? Shout out to Nnamdi Kanu. Hopefully, they should release him soon. But people don't want to fight for that, okay? Many of the killings that happen in Imo, Anambra, Abia, all those unknown gunmen stuff was a big-ass lie. And some of you that say, oh, she just wants them to donate for her. Please, during that time I was doing the Simon Ekpa series, I didn't want to see much donations. Talk less of donate for me. You know, I didn't do it for donations, okay? I just did my videos. If people knew that I was looking for donations, they would have donated maybe, but I wasn't asking for donations. I'm just putting out the truth. So get it to your head. Hausa people and any Yoruba person that dares interfere. I keep it real, all right? And I think that Kanu should be released and he should sue everybody in, what's the country, Kenya and all that, the people that set him up and all that for that extradition and all that, because that was done wrong, okay? You need to know the rules and the laws. And another thing, President Tinubu is answering to the cabal in Daura. That's all it is. Because if he's really sensible, what he did this morning to Mele Kyari is what he should be doing with Nnamdi Kanu. Release Nnamdi Kanu out of that prison. Okay, he's fired Mele Kyari. Mele Kyari was like fraudulent to the core. I told you that this morning in the post. Okay, shout out to everybody in IPOB and Biafra.